It's that time of year to get out there and start hiking and biking, and you'll need a good pair of shoes to do it. This is my third year and third pair of these Walmart hikers. So in this video, I'll help you make up your mind as to whether or not you should buy them. This shoe's design is actually a knockoff of the Moab 2 by Merrell, but it's just outrageously expensive. These are something like $21 or $22. I don't think they make this color anymore, but they do have this, which is what I just picked up. And I've gone over them really closely. They are the same thing. It's just a different color, and they probably did it so that it's not such an obvious ripoff of Merrell's product. Aside from expense, there are three things that you need to consider with hiking shoes. How comfortable they are, number one. Number two, how lightweight they are. And number three, how well they stick. A sole has to have soft rubber or you're going to fall on your tail. These shoes check all those boxes. They're affordable, very lightweight. I find that they're extremely comfortable, but you absolutely must add an insole. Excuse the sawdust. They are hard as a rock down there, and it will hurt your foot. So you have to spring for an extra 10 bucks and buy a pair of these. That knocks the price up to something like $30 if you spend $10 on insoles and 20 something on the shoes. You're going to be up around $30, $35 at the most, which is still half of what one third of what the more expensive hikers will cost. So it's all in all, it's not a bad move. These stick like it's incredible. You can walk right up a 45-degree angle tree with these when they're new, and they're soft. This is soft. When this rubber is soft, it's consumed quickly, and that's the price that you pay for having good traction. Here's before and after. I use them every day. I go back into the woods every day, carrying logs, biking, hiking, you name it. It's been a good shoe. Break-in period is one good hike of a couple miles. Knock this down so it's nice and soft. Break this in a little bit before you take off. I haven't replaced the laces. They've worked out. You know, they untie just like anything else, but you could swap it out with a toggle if it bothers you, or deal with it as it is. You're only going to have to tie your shoe once every hike. Another pointer I would like to give you, especially if you use shoes a lot, which you do because you're probably a human with feet, add some baby powder. Use baby powder. Don't worry about the nonsense about it causing respiratory damage. You'll be fine. Just don't breathe it in. If you squirt some baby powder in your shoes, it will give them a much more softer, comfortable, dry feeling that reduces friction and makes your hike way better. One more thing. In the interest of fairness, I have not worn these for a season, so I can't technically attest to their being as good as these, but I have looked at them as closely as I can, and I see no difference that isn't entirely superficial. They seem to have the same material and same stitching, same everything, just a different color. So I have no reason to believe that this should be any less effective as this. You will be just fine this season if you purchase a pair of those. If I were to offer my criticisms over the design, I think that this below the ankle design is a bit low. Our ankle is in a socket and it swivels, so this cups down so that it doesn't rub against the side of the ankle. But I think it could be a little bit higher without being all the way up over. If it were to hug tighter, you would get less sawdust in there, and I think that might be an improvement, but you're not going to find that in any shoe design, so we're stuck with it. My other criticism, but it's not really a criticism, it's a fact it's a caveat of a shoe. they get wet easily. Just simply walking through wet grass, you'll feel water. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are two approaches to hikers. There are waterproof and the type that breathe. This type that breathe, like this, if you slip into a creek, you take out your foot, you walk it off, and it will be dry in a half hour. So if they get wet fast, they also dry out fast. If you go the waterproof route with your hikers, then you can expect your feet to be sweaty and soggy after a substantial hike. So you have to consider those two things and make up your mind. As for me, I've grown to like the breathable approach, and that's why I can recommend with a straight face this design. Good luck out there. Don't slip. See ya.